okay? Brew, your reaction.
Look, first let me say Chris Jones. I think what he's saying there, at least what he's feeling, is our defense played well. Like, I think that's what he's saying. Y'all get 40 on us last time. Now we held you to 20. So I think he's saying that's what he's thinking in his mind. That's why he's talking trash, even though we're about to lose.
Yeah, good job.
Jalen, you had 116 total yards, threw for 101. I think you had like a 78 passer rating against a team you had scored 40 on like months ago. You didn't look good against Dallas, and you talking smack?
What? Well, he's not allowed to.
I don't like that.
He wasn't talking smack.
I love it. I get wild every single time. I love it.
How did you not take a lap?
Because I'm an actor. That's why. Y'all got to stop dissing me like I don't know how to act.
Bro, I do believe you know how to act, but I also know you and need to show with you. You're interrupting him.
I didn't know. I thought it was insane.
You darn right
you can't even.
Because I'm nice.
You can't even let Rick get his single shot because you won't shut up and get the bit.
I thought it was a bad take.
You can't blame me. I mean, the way
exactly. Not my fault. I'm sitting next to Denzel Washington of sports media.
All right, go ahead.
Look, Jalen, he's a winner. It is why I keep comparing him. I'm comparing him to Terry Bradshaw and Draymond Green. Like, his legacy is not going to be, wow, he threw for 5,000 yards this season. He threw for 45 touchdowns this season. His legacy is going to be, this dude is a winner.
Yes.
And he showed you that. Who cares about the stats? We won.
It's your guy.
Dusty, the graphic. We're back. Oh, we have some movement on the graphic.
Wow.
Look, I agree with Brew, obviously. This is all that he cares about. And the numbers are wild. He has a total of 253 air yards. It's 12 more than Jake Browning, who just started playing half a day.
Yeah.
So the fact that
and where the passes show, while you're talking, Dust, throw up his passing chart from this game. Because it's also where, like, what they're doing, where they're throwing is jarring in how conservative it is, I would say.
The question I have for this, and I will go to the mattresses saying this is all that matters, is Kevin Petula's offense a little more, grinding the gears of what we saw Kellen Moore do? And even though Jalen has had a new offensive coordinator almost every year, is this offense going to eventually fly, or are we just going to have to grind out every game? Well, because a little bit, this is a great take, even though it's against my thesis. This is a great take. Right now, the Eagles, this year's Eagles teams has a little bit of last year's Chiefs team.
That's not.
If CeeDee Lamb catches that, it could go another way.
Right.
If Travis Kelce, we've had a lot of just fortuitous things happen. Winning is a skill, but fortuitous things have happened. I would like a straight up.
The problem is, that's exactly what happened in 23. There was a lot of things that happened in their way that shouldn't have, and that's how they got to 10-1, and then the dam broke. So you got to be great or not. Same thing with the Chiefs. You said, oh, the Chiefs, they're winning a lot of weird ways. And then they went up against the Philadelphia Eagles and said, we don't care how you've been winning in the past. We're not the Bills. We're not the Texans. We're not the Steelers. We're not the Broncos. We're the Philadelphia Eagles. And so we're going to dominate you. So there's no inherent magic here. You're either great or you're not. You either can ball or you can't. But I want to see what else they say. Can I hold before you add to it, Brew? I have point differential. Go ahead, Brew. Well, that's your take. This is how they remember. This is how they were winning the year after they lost the Super Bowl. Yes. What everybody was like, you are allowed. We've talked about it, and I've just decided I'm going to be okay with it. You are allowed to go on Bill Simmons' podcast and present my takes. You said the Eagles feel very cheapy. What you can't do is take something I said to you in person 3 hours ago in your shared office. I said, and I quote what I was like, the Eagles threw 2 games. it feels a lot like, and the way they're being discussed, it's last year's Chiefs. Yeah, they won, but I swear to God, you did not tell you may have David Beckham made it upstairs. You're confused. You did not tell that to me. Okay, that's fine. You know what? You're right. Okay. Wilds. Even though when you were saying it, you were like, oh, wow, I just thought of this. It sounds like someone else is taking why I'm going. You wouldn't say that. Okay, that's fine, I agree. But here's the other thing. They beat the Chiefs close. They didn't. Now, Dallas was close too. But Dallas isn't like me. I'm drunk. No. It's fine. I'm not worried. Here, listen. One thing on the quote and the other thing on the bigger discussion. Before I am willing to say, Chris was just unprompted talking trash, and we're not going to get this fair. I would like to know what prompted that. I think that's fair. You know what I mean I don't think it would have been from jail. Remember, they were just coming out of the hub. It might have been the whole game. No, but I'm saying, and also did an offensive lineman trash all this? Somebody said that. Oh yeah. No, he is. No. I understand. But what I'm saying is, what did an offensive lineman say something about them? Moving up and down the field, and he's like, man, you didn't even have 100 yards. And then Jalen jumps back in and says, yeah, but we won the game. We're getting half of a conversation, not a whole conversation. First of all, that's always dangerous, right? Weird how we didn't want to offer that to Jalen Carter. Weird. But we want to offer that to Daniel Jones, to Chris Jones, but it's fine. The second of all, though, if this is the way they're going to play then, and this is frustrating for you, I think there is a ceiling on where Jalen Hurts is going to get to in the quarterback conversation you love to have so much. And that's the cost of doing business. Brew, not if they reel off, a dynasty, or if they, it's a different story, but you wanted this game, in theory, to maybe be a Jalen Hurts coronation game. You wanted us to get, right? That if they did what you said they were going to do and score 40, and he looks awesome, that we have a conversation about, hey, why isn't he the best quarterback in football? But when we see them win a game that way, and Jalen, by the way, to his credit's okay with it, he's just not going to get the bump. Okay? And that's what I want to discuss here, more than anything. We're going to discuss this all, but this is what's so obnoxious, because you say that this is the type of game that Jalen Hurts wins, and it's the cost of doing business. And so now he suffers the consequences from it. And I say, look how Patrick Mahomes has played now with not great weapons around him, and yet he's not suffering any consequences when the whole narrative and mythology around Mahomes is that he can do it with anyone. He's amazing. He carries teams. And it's like, no, he's put up amazing numbers when he's had awesome players around him. And now that he doesn't have a great team around him, he looks awful. He looks bad. He is playing poorly. He is inaccurate. He is not good enough. That is a fact. When his defense isn't coming up with huge stops and turnovers, and when his offense isn't coming up with big plays, and when his receivers are dropping the ball or causing interceptions like we've seen in the past that the Eagles did for Jalen, like we've seen the Ravens do for Lamar, like we've seen the Bills do for Josh Allen, it don't look so good. It don't look so good. And make no mistake about it, Patrick Mahomes, until that throw to Thorin, had like 115 passing yards himself. So let's not pretend like he's throwing the ball all over the place here. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. In 2 games now, he's been wildly inaccurate. In the last 3 years, he's been wildly inaccurate. And you want to talk about the chart? And they never showed us the chart, of the passing and the conservative offensive, that it's like, what do you think the Chiefs did in 22, 23, and 24? Patrick Mahomes has consistently been at the bottom of the NFL in average depth of target, yet nobody wants to give him any consequences for that. They're just going to say, well, who do you want him to throw to? Who do you want him to throw to? And it's like, are you serious right now? Like, are we serious? And now you want to give Jalen Hurts consequences because he didn't throw for 300 yards right now in this game. I mean, it's just absurd. And nobody has been open. He has a first-time play caller now. Again, a brand new offensive coordinator who, in his second game calling plays, has to go into Arrowhead and call for the Kansas City Chief against the Kansas City Chiefs. And we just want to lump that on Jalen, and it's just like, what do you want him to do? He's taking care of the ball. He's actually playing brilliant in a game where he's only throwing for like 100 yards. He's being really smart. He's taking care of business. He's the reason why they're winning these games right now. He's being an elite game manager, and that matters. That matters. That's how Patrick Mahomes has won Super Bowls. That's how Tom Brady has won Super Bowls. That's how Tom Manning has won Super Bowls. And when they need game-changing moments, he's done it, like we saw against the Dallas Cowboys and like the throw that he made to Devontae. And so this is a tough one. I had my concerns about Kevin Patullo going into this game for sure. For sure. But to keep trying to act like every single game is some sort of, now this is the jail, and Hurts we see like this is the jail. It's so exhausting. It really is. It's exhausting. What are we doing here, man? I really don't get it. I mean, again, if it wasn't until that final play for Patrick Mahomes, or not the final play, but that big throw to Thornton, who was wide open, obviously, Patrick Mahomes was literally going to be throwing for like 120 yards. He was going to be below Josh Allen at 148, behind J.J. McCarthy, behind Cam Ward, behind Michael Penn. So it's just like I don't know what to tell you there. I mean, Joe Burrow in week 1 threw for 113 yards. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Baker Mayfield, who Nick absolutely loves, who he says he's the best he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Better than Jalen Z, threw for 167 yards. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs defense had everyone just knotted up on offense for the Philadelphia Eagles, and yet they were still able to find the way to win. And you got high-level quarterback play from Jalen Hurts. Look at all the errant throws and messy moments that were led by Patrick Mahomes. Point out those moments for Jalen Hurts. They weren't there. They weren't there. That's just the reality of the situation. The Philadelphia Eagles absolutely, positively, undeniably have to be better. Absolutely. To try to put a ceiling on Jalen Hurts right now is insane to me. Insane. So, he has to blow out the Kansas City Chiefs again. Doing in the Super Bowl was great, but can you do it week 2 with a brand new coordinator? Like, okay. On the road in Arrowhead against a team that desperately wants revenge, that desperately needs to avoid going 0-2 at all costs. Can you do it? It's like, what are we saying right now? Seriously, what are we saying? I mean, this is, we're losing our minds right now. Patrick Mahomes beat oh my gosh. I mean, Patrick Mahomes had one of the worst games I've ever seen. He was 6. This was against this 49ers last year. 16 for 27, 154 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a 44.4 passer rating. But he got the 1 win, and they were 6-0, and that's all that matters. And Nick said he played perfect. Why didn't anyone say, hey, if you're going to win games like this, we're going to put a ceiling on Patrick Mahomes right now? Because they're going to say, yeah, but we've seen what Patrick Mahomes done in past. We've seen what Jalen Hurts has done in the past as well. You know, became a Super Bowl MVP, fought out in multiple Super Bowls, was an MVP. Kennett should have won the MVP in 22 until he got hurt. Like, what are we inventing here? Led a Philadelphia Eagles in 23 to the playoffs with terrible coordinators and a terrible defense. I think the defense was ranked like 29th in the NFL. Like what we've seen Jalen Hurts also carry this Eagles team, carried them to the playoffs in 21. So it's like, what does he need? He just needs 1 season where he throws for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. Then he can win any way he wants. Then it'll be okay. How does that make sense? Seriously, how does it make sense? Because the only time we've seen Patrick Mahomes truly special was in 18 when nobody knew who he was. So that no film on him. I love how that only benefits other players, but not Patrick Mahomes, apparently. And then 2019, he actually was worse in 20 than when he was in 2018. The Kansas City Chiefs asked him to do less, but nobody ever wants to talk about that. He had like half the touchdowns, 1,000 less yards, but like, nope, doesn't matter. He's still unbelievable. He's still amazing. Beating Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Like, congrats on beating Jimmy G, a quarterback that Nick Wright thinks is absolutely, positively awful. And then he gets smoked by the Buccaneers. But it's the O-line. It's the O-line. It's the O-line. 21 doesn't even make the Super Bowl. 22 has the best O-line in the NFL, with Travis Kelce having the best season of his career. But it's just like we just want to always give it all to Mahomes, and with Jalen Hurts, we want to take it all away from him. It just doesn't make sense. It really does not make sense. Like, we want to put a ceiling on Jalen Hurts because why? Because he didn't throw for 300 yards in this game when people weren't open with a new coordinator who is seemingly struggling, especially after week 1 against the Cowboys. Jalen Hurts carried that team. Had to use his legs to pick up downs. Had to do what he needed to do. Like, really, I don't know, man. Math's not math right now, but you can see that it haunts other players. It's haunting Jones. Just funny. And they did another clip a little bit earlier about the tush push. You saw the banner. I didn't watch it yet because I was trying to get to the real clip. I'm about to destroy that. I am about to just destroy that. Just wait. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts and the ceiling on Jalen Hurts right now? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. Thank you so